Mr. Speaker, when the Prime Minister took office 9 months ago, the NHS waiting list had 7.2 million people on it. What's the number today? On the waiting list. Prime Minister, that's the highest it's ever been. It means that since he stepped foot into Downing Street, 100,000 people have been waiting in daily agony for things like hip and knee replacements, while he boasts.
And it only gets worse from here. Prime Minister Rishi Sunak, cornered by Keir Starmer, tries to spin disaster into success and fails miserably. It's a total beatdown. Stick around. Welcome back to the channel where we break through the political noise and show you the raw truth. No fluff, no spin, just brutal reality. Subscribe now so you never miss a takedown like this one. It all started when Keir Starmer stood up and delivered a hammer blow. He pointed out that under Rishi Sunak's leadership, NHS waiting lists have hit a shocking new high. He quoted the official figure: 7.2 million people were on waiting lists when Sunak took office. Today, it's even worse. Starmer didn't hold back.
On the waiting list. Prime Minister, that's the highest it's ever been. It means that since he stepped foot into Downing Street, 100,000 people have been waiting in daily agony for things like hip and knee replacements, while he boasts.
PM, clearly rattled, tried to brush it off. He blamed industrial action for the crisis, desperately trying to shift responsibility rather than own up to his government's failures. Rishi Sunak's defense? Well, it was as feeble as you'd expect. He said,
The reason that the NHS waiting lists are higher today than they were then, after actually being stable for the first few months as we put in place new initiatives, is very simple, and that's because the NHS has been disrupted.
He continued.
Very clear plans in place to bring down waiting lists in urgent and emergency care, in primary care, in ambulances, and outpatients and electives. Those plans were working and will continue to work, but we do need to end the industrial actions.
Desperate to dodge the facts, he turned the blame onto doctors and consultants, pleading.
So I'd ask the honourable gentleman, if he does care about bringing the waiting list down, does he agree with me that consultants and junior doctors should accept the pay deal that the government offered?
But it didn't wash. Starmer came back swinging, exposing the weakness in Sunak's excuse-driven performance. The public isn't buying it, and neither is Keir Starmer. Starmer thundered back.
Mr. Speaker, when the Prime Minister took office 9 months ago, the NHS waiting list had 7.2 million people on it. What's the number today?
He exposed Sunak's boasting for what it is, a smokescreen. Starmer continued.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. He talks about his plans. He doesn't need to lecture me on that. On the NHS staffing plan, he nicked it from Labour.
The facts back Starmer up. Despite Sunak's bragging about ambulance times improving and more GP access, the situation remains dire. Starmer pointed out that Labour's NHS workforce plan is fully funded by scrapping the non-dom status, while Sunak can't even explain where the money for his so-called plans is coming from.
Is that loophole so important to him that he'd rather have billions in unfunded promises than simply making billionaires pay what they owe?
Meanwhile, real people's lives hang in the balance. People waiting for life-changing surgeries in pain and despair. Sunak's government is all empty promises and no real solutions. And today, in Parliament, the mask slipped in a big way. Just when you thought it couldn't get any worse for Sunak, it did. Starmer laid down the facts about Sunak's so-called workforce plan being uncosted spending and demanded.
Is his uncosted spending coming from more tax rises, more cuts, or is it just the latest promise to fall from the Tories' magic money tree?
The Prime Minister fumbled again. Trying to sound confident, he mumbled about the plan being fully funded, claiming,
Mr. Speaker, as I and the Chancellor set out, the plan...
But Starmer wasn't having it. With laser precision, he struck back.
Labour's NHS workforce plan is fully funded by scrapping the non-dom status that he so adores. You know the one? The non-dom tax thing, as he calls it, that allows some of the wealthiest people in the country to avoid paying tax here.
The House roared with applause. It was clear to everyone. The Conservatives protect the rich while millions suffer. Cornered, Sunak launched a pitiful counterattack. He tried to smear Labour by claiming,
What you didn't hear was a single word about how he's going to be paying for it. Labour's NHS work...
Pathetic. Starmer finished the job with a brutal final blow.
Labour's NHS workforce plan is fully funded by scrapping the non-dom status that he so adores.
He exposed Sunak's government for what it really is: out of touch, protecting billionaires while regular families drown in NHS waiting lists, mortgage crises, and economic despair. And if that wasn't enough, Starmer mocked the so-called 40 new hospitals the Tories promised, roasting Sunak.
Mr. Speaker, listen, the same policy that has paid, I think, for 5 different things at this.
By the end, the Prime Minister was visibly beaten, clinging to hollow boasts as Starmer and the public shredded every excuse.